good. Good to see you too. You look good. You look good. I like this color. I was really cool.
Yeah, we're ready.
You had a good season, I think.
I won't say that. I'll just say we are all in different places.
And we need that, but we need that. We need people in a group who are you're like, you're the one that everybody can come to. When you bring it, you did that. Work your magic, child.
Good luck.
Yeah, right.
You did that. So I'll see you guys out there. Hang tight. We should be getting started soon, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hi, guys.
Oh, let him go.
You look cute.
Thank you. You give me A5 vibes.
Huh?
That's you give me A5 vibes.
Well, how are you guys feeling?
I'm fine.
You're feeling fine?
Well, I'm just ready to kind of like. You said what?
I just asked how you guys are feeling.
No, I'm fine. I'm just ready to kind of do this and get it over with.
Get it over with? You, Mr. Brandon.
Slightly anxious, but I'm excited. Let's just go ahead and get the truth out. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do some truth. It's a lot of lies.
I brought my solo cup. We're all good.
What's in the cup?
Jesus juice.
Look,
that's it.
Crazy.
what are you drinking?
Pride.
Nothing. Y'all don't strike me as ratchet.
Y'all hire boxers. Y'all know that, right?
Right.
Totally kidding.
I can't speak for him. But I mean,
Really good. And Mikey, I really think you came through with this color scheme. I was a little nervous because it's a very specific shade of blue.
right.
And it could go either way, but I really like this.
So was it shaped towards me or Mikey?
No, he was the creator of this color scheme, right?
I was.
Yeah, but I'm off the color scheme, obviously. So I mean,
How are you feeling?
I feel awesome. This ain't about me.
So, Mr. Carl, how are you feeling?
You look cute.
Thank you, because the girl said
The girls are mad. You know they are.
the girls in there looking like pilgrims.
I'm about to get all them bitches. All them bitches.
So how do
today.
you feel about this reunion? You're here. What do you want to accomplish today? What do you want to accomplish?
I want to know what the girls got to say because they had a lot to say. You know, the green screen gangsters got a lot to say.
Green screen.
They got a lot to say in green screens. So we will be addressing green screens today because girls had a lot to say. And some of them, some of these comments that I've been reading too. Don't think they exist. Don't think you exempt at home.
Get ready for an epic two-part WebLYFE Atlanta reunion. What's going on, Atlanta? I am Rashad Walker. I will be your host this evening. I am so excited to be here with the cast of WebLYFE Atlanta for season 1. This season has been full of ups and even more downs, and I cannot wait to jump right on into it. What's going on, Mr. Carl?
What's up? You know, I'm here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, tell me a little bit about this outfit. How did this come about?
Child, let me tell you, it almost didn't come about. I had just picked up this shirt. Like, you know what? I just picked up this shirt last night. I didn't get a chance because I was actually working, so I didn't have a lot of time. So I had to throw something together.
Well, at least you're on trend. You're in color theme.
You know, I did want to keep, I follow the rules, unlike some people with their dead man's suit on.
Who made this outfit?
Marcus and Jones made this for me. He made me a little turtleneck. You know, we didn't get a chance to do the fitting because I was late. So it's a little bigger.
Here, and I think you look good.
Thank you. You know, it's giving you curtain realness,
And who is this custom made or did you buy this?
It's store-bought.
It's store bought. Where'd you buy it from?
I bought it from actually Neiman's.
Neiman's.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The
never
coins must be good. You're shopping at Neiman's.
The coins is great. You know, everybody talked about my OnlyFans involvement and everything, and it's quite lucrative. So I'm gonna move my imaginary bang, and we're gonna keep on going down the list.
Okay, well, I'm gonna move right on down to Mikey. What's going on, Mr. Mikey? How are you? And from what I understand, you were behind this color scheme, right?
I was. Royal blue is like the color of royalty. I always like blue. It's one of my favorite colors. Silver, I love silver accessories. I feel like it accents everybody's skin really well. And I just want these guys to the best they can.
Harry?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You look good.
Thank
Is
you, I
this
appreciate it.
bought too, or did you get this made?
No, it's bar. I think it's like Calvin Klein.
Hey, you can never go wrong with Calvin Klein.
Store bought.
This looks more Neiman's to me.
Really? I've heard you ask me about my suit.
Alright guys, but I do understand this is your first time seeing each other since the premiere. Back in December.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Well, not really for me. I see.
Yeah, I see that bitch every week.
I see him.
Well, everyone being in the same room.
Same
It's
room.
everybody in the same room.
Yeah.
So how does it feel
Who
being in
could
the
be in
same
the same
room?
room? Yeah.
How does it feel being in the room with everybody?
It's a mixed bag for me.
A little anxious.
Okay.
I'm having a great time.
Okay.
I'm having a good time, but a little anxious as well.
Well, I'm noticing there are it's a smaller circle. Certain people aren't here. And before we get into it, I do want to point out that unfortunately our girl Lacey Doll and her wife Freshie could not be here because our girl Lacey Doll, she's in that cosmetic surgery room getting that body snatched.
Period, Pooh.
Period.
Yeah,
I cannot wait
that's
to see
my
what she
girl.
looks like. So I'm just
Right.
going to send my love to
Real
Lacey.
well.
We hope that you have a speedy recovery.
Happy birthday.
And happy birthday.
happy
birthday.
Come on.
Happy birthday,
Birthday, Lacey. We love you.
We'll see. So we're going to keep it moving. In one word, describe your experience on WebLYFE Atlanta. I'm going to start with you, Carl.
Fun.
What about you, Larry?
Layered.
Mikey?
Trying.
Well, if I can put it into one word, I mean, I can give y'all a paragraph.
I don't need a paragraph from you, baby. We ain't got that much time, so.
Let's see. Blurry.
Blurry. About Mikey.
Oh, shit.
Do you feel Mikey plays the victim?
Absolutely. You know, Mikey always got to make it seem like it's something going on somewhere. Like, somebody's always doing something. Like, Mikey never did nothing to nobody. But, I mean, it's cute. I mean, sometimes he be right, but sometimes it be like, girl, you just overreacting.
I think he speaks from his perspective. So it's basically how he sees the world and things happening around him.
Right.
Do you feel like you're a victim?
No, I don't feel like I'm a victim. I feel like I naturally react to how I feel about a situation. To somebody else, it might not be that big a deal, but they can't say that because they didn't go through it. They're not dealing with it, and they're not dealing with the players that are involved in the situation. So you can have your opinion, but calling me a victim, I just don't appreciate. Everybody reacts to stuff. So I'm trying to figure out, like, why is it if I say this happened to me or this person did something to me, it's immediately discredited as opposed to somebody else who goes through the same issue and, oh, well, they shouldn't have done that to you.
Larry.
Yes.
I'm going to go back to you.
I'm sure you were. You was not about to get away. You thought you were safe.
No, I didn't. I knew better.
And you said that sometimes people can come off as a victim, and if you are the common denominator in every situation, then you are the problem.
But I didn't say that. The perspective, but yeah, that's exactly where I was coming from, and I stand. Yeah, I stand in that. I mean, I feel that's true. It's so there's power in taking responsibility and accountability. I have a question. I am a believer in that there are issues that exist in the world. Yes.
Correct.
However, if I am the common denominator among the issues, then I have to look introspectively and not look at everybody else. When people are constantly a victim of everybody else and they can't see, like, you play a intricate role in the things that happen in your life. And if you can't see what role you play in something, you're gonna perpetually be a victim. So it's like if you feel like you don't have any power in a situation, that causes victimhood.
Okay.
You know, so that's really where I was coming from, and I was just posing as I always do. I give a different perspective because that's just how my analytical mind works. It's like I'll pose that. Not necessarily he could take. My whole thing is like when you give advice, somebody can take it or they cannot.
Mr. Larry, the songbird who gave his solicited and unsolicited advice to anybody on the cast who felt it was needed.
Is he messy? You're gossiping. You're not doing journalism.
I'm highly apprehensive. It really makes my heart race.
Why? The problem he has with the gay community and everything else, kind of just unpack some of this, work through some of it together as a whole, a collective, because kind of things get lost in the shuffle when we do it in small silos. If I am the common denominator among the issues, then I have to look introspectively and not look at everybody else. Well, you know, I work with trauma and survivors, so I know how important it is to manage trauma.
This season, audience got to see very raw moments of you in the show. Are there any moments this season that you wish people did not get a chance to see? I'm gonna start with you, Mikey.
Oh my God, that's the easiest question for me to answer right there. Me passing out, that whole situation with the Halloween party. When I watched that back, I was teary-eyed watching that. Because first off, of course you don't see yourself passing out, but I was laid out on the floor. It just kind of made me relive that entire day. I was embarrassed. I was at a vulnerable spot because I'm just laying there. I got people walking around me trying to wake me up, trying to do chest compressions on me and stuff. And it's just
While your friends were partying
Don't do
and
it.
dancing.
I wish that no, because I feel like if I didn't want to show anything or one thing a part of my life, then I wouldn't have been a part of this particular situation. So I don't regret anything.
Girl, I don't know what she's saying now. She quit. Did you quit like twice? You know, it's just a habit. She does that a lot. Things that I have regretted or I did not want to be seen will probably be when I was in a vulnerable state, because I am a strong believer that if you don't want to share with the world, you shouldn't make it public.
I agree.
And I had some grieving moments I didn't want to share, but I felt like it was time for me to be vulnerable with the people.
At the last episode of the season,
And I'm going to end it right there.
trying to save face.
I'm done.
I wish people would have seen the opportunity that I did have to build relationships with different people on the cast. I think that's something that wasn't shown as much.
You were there when you needed to be. Okay, you were there when you needed to be.
It's not determined by anyone else. It's not taken, nor is it given. More valuable than anything else. Don't forget it, don't release it. Don't let anyone take it away. It's yours, say it loud, say it proud. Don't let anyone take it away. It's yours. Mm-hmm. All of the pain, trust the process, it's worth the gain. Take it to the sunshine, there'll be rain. You're worthy, you're worthy. Don't worry, 'cause you're worthy.
Brandon, he was quickly dubbed the star of the show, and the fans affectionately called the show Brandon and Friends.
Because I do have the tendency to make people's husbands mad, because I mean,
No.
you know, I think Larry's fashion is a bit interesting. I was dressed for brunch. And then, you know, everybody else, I guess, I don't know, maybe he was passing out barbecue invitations when he was telling me about the brunch situation, but I mean, that's exactly what everybody else came for. Not everybody else, but Carl.
Well, I declined, respectfully.
I wanted a friendship and a business relationship with Mikey. It would be extremely platonic.
How did he take that?
I don't necessarily think he took that so well.
Yanked my monkey ass up, threw me into the bed. You know when somebody bring you into the bathroom that you... That's a problem, okay?
Do you think Mikey want to be?
Someone has decided to start an OnlyFans doesn't necessarily mean that they're broke.
I actually got into the OnlyFans community because I was broke.
No, that was your podcast.
No.
And how boring.
Snooze fest.
Brandon, the first time we met you on this show,
Yes.
you were actually going to Larry's house to
Right.
help him pick out fashions, and it was for his music video, correct?
Yes. Which is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Then why
Yeah.
did you act so surprised when you got to his home? Were you expecting him to live in the hood or something?
Girl, he lived in the West End, the historic West End. At the end of the day, a lot of the homes around him are deteriorating or they're either being refurbished.
I was like, it was off-putting, and I just feel like I've dealt with that my whole life, is where people have misconceptions of who I am or what I represent.
You went on a media platform with a very well-known
Several.
Several.
And I understand you and Chris June had a falling out as a result of some of the things that he said here.
I am shocked. I think people were under the impression that it was going to be more HBO After Dark, and it was more like Coco Dorm.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm like, is that any different from, say, like Candy being a singer and then doing like a burlesque show or Candy Coated Nights, selling sex toys?
Yeah, but he not Candy. At least not yet.
Is your relationship better or is it in the same place?
We working on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that I've like 110% like exonerated him from my friends list or anything. I came here today for everybody who's sitting amongst us. I came here today as an adult, and I want to go ahead and handle things as an adult with my cast members and with people who are doing this project with me.
I feel like if you don't know Brandon,
right,
and you don't know his nuances, yes, he can be. But he will tell you, this is what I require, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what I'm expecting. And when that doesn't take place, it's like it's a no.
EJ.
It's a no. It's a no. He does let you know up front.
Here's the
Don't
thing.
do that.
I gotta move it.
He always tries to give me for the
No,
You're my friend.
girl, y'all are best friends, girl. Go ahead.
So let me ask this question. Carl, do you feel like he overly defends him? Or
Overly, absolutely, bitch. What the fuck? I have best friends as well, but bitch, I ain't never defended my best friends to the extent that them two do.
That's a bold-faced lie. I'm gonna tell you how it's a bold-faced lie. Give me 1 second. You decided to go onto G status, right? As the model of that particular situation because you were supporting your friend, right?
I was.
Okay, so you went there and you tried to fight somebody who came against your friend.
I didn't try.
Right?
I whooped
Yes,
your
you
ass.
did.
Okay,
because
I was
saying
saying.
No. I didn't try. I was trying to do it. I was
My nigga said
same thing, girl.
Y'all didn't whoop no ass. We can guarantee that. Sherrod rolled you in a bush, bitch. That's what I remember. That's what I remember.
Okay.
God. Oh, I have multiple sources to tell me. Remember the sources?
I'm gonna get to you guys, but I gotta move on. All right. Mikey. He is the wizard of WebLYFE Atlanta. He handpicked this cast, and he gave us a season full of interesting moments that left a lot of us puzzled.
Let's have some fun, please.
Not Comfort Brandon Day.
Okay.
You know, I don't do Comfort Brandon Day.
Okay.
And I don't do ambushing.
You know, a real Asian mix, silk looking outfit. I feel like I was the best dressed guy there.
What I was saying is, like for me, I don't have a wedding in me right now. Like, I hate going to weddings.
So I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, like, you know, why is he questioning me about Brandon when Brandon wants to be with him? And it's just coming off a little insecure.
Yeah,
it's good. Today is the day of my Halloween party, the Heavenly Hellish Ball with UDTV. This is my first big event and I am excited. Like, this is going to make up for that hellish ass brunch that I had a couple of weeks ago. I lose consciousness.
And he just looked really out of it and unresponsive, and people started like...
I feel so attacked today, like...
So, at the time it seemed like a good idea.
What were some of the conflicts that you faced as a role of a cast member and a producer?
Trying to keep talent happy, and I'm friends with everybody on this cast, and I care about everybody on this cast. So I want them all to be presented in a balanced light. I don't feel like that was done.
At all.
I don't feel like that was done. Then being talented at the same time, I pretty much feel like I was overlooked. It was different parts and situations where I felt like that my work wasn't viewed as valid because I wasn't necessarily trying to be some kind of trope. You know, and that's no disrespect to you and no disrespect to you. But you know, a lot of times I find in situations when it comes to LGBT people, especially the black LGBT community, you're not a pretty boy, you're not some gay trope, they're not trying to pay attention to you. You have to come with some kind of
I guess I'm the trope.
Well, yeah, you feel like you're the trope too, Karson?
Apparently, because
I remember in episode 1 where you and Brandon were out and you were inviting him to the brunch.
Correct.
And you said that you don't do coming for Brandon Day.
I don't.
But when he got to the brunch, obviously Brandon felt ambushed. Do you feel like you are partially responsible for making that happen, being that you were the host of the brunch?
Well, as a host, you have to take responsibility for anything that happens at your event.
Right.
That's pretty much it. And not know that it was going to turn into that. I came into it with good intentions. Carl came with a type of energy that was new to me.
It was on camera.
According to most people, that's how he usually is. So to me, that was new. He came into the situation. I immediately clocked it and realized something was wrong. And then he started showing stuff about Brandon's OnlyFans.
So let me move this over to Carl, because you're clearly having a reaction. Do you think that your behavior was out of character for you, or were you on trend?
First of all, let's get one thing straight. I don't transform for a camera. Everybody that knows me, the ones that knows me well, knows I'm like this 24/7. But what seems to be the problem here is that let me tell y'all exactly the reasoning behind. Because I wasn't going to say anything about, you know, her spreading her cheeks from east to west. I was going to leave that out. But at the end of the day, when I sat down and asked Mikey, because like I said earlier, I said the reason why I came to Chris is the person that I know out of everybody in this group. I know Chris probably better than everybody else.
Oh, girl.
So I asked Chris.
Really?
I do. So I asked, I know Chris the most. So I asked Chris, I said, child, I do.
Was it that you knew him, or did you feel most comfortable asking him?
I feel more comfortable with Chris. Because but not even that. You gotta realize, I've known Chris longer than everybody here. Okay. I've known Chris longer than everybody. And I felt comfortable as Chris. I said, well, child, you know, what's going on? And yes, I will admit when I said, like, you know, is she getting paid for her shit? That was a dig. It was. But, you know, but at the end of the day, that's me. Everybody be like, oh, Carl's so messy. I am, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Y'all ain't gonna whoop not now piece of ass up in here. So, yes.
But you have to understand.
Anyway, I'm talking. So at the end of the day, I asked Chris, like, girl, did you know? Like, I'm like, bitch, is she getting paid for this? Like, what's going on? It's time's getting hard, is what I asked. And, you know, Kiki and my girlfriend, like, when I'm talking to my people, regardless if we're doing a show or not, I'm talking to this bitch like I would talk to him if the camera was not there. So that's where the bitches are getting shit misconstrued at, because I pretend the camera is not there.
A lot of people were taking back at some of your comments you made this season, and I want to read a comment from one of our YouTubers that watched the show. His name is Marquez Johnson, and he's from North Carolina. He wants to know that after seeing your place in a deleted scene, how do you feel like you were able to read Lacey and Freshy's neighborhood?
Easy. Where Lacey and Freshy stayed at, like I said, and I stand down by that, was...
Girl, your place ain't exactly the suburbs, bitch. White people coming around.
It's versus where the fuck they stayed. I didn't introduce your duck ass. Don't introduce me, okay?
Girl.
People had their moment.
Stop.
I promise you.
Girl.
Stop.
Girl.
But just let them have their moment, okay?
She got her moment.
And I understand that you
know what? Let me calm down. Let me calm down.
Yes, let you.
Let me calm down.
Let you.
Let me calm down. What the fuck is this? Are we friends or are we not?
We are. No, I'm just saying. Don't come. First of all, what you not gonna do is talk to me crazy. But y'all knew but don't act like y'all don't know that. You know that. You know that. Go ahead, girl.
Lacey and Freshy's apartment. People felt like you took digs. But people also said that they looked at your apartment and they felt like you had no room to talk about where they lived, period. Okay. So how do you respond to that?
First off, I wasn't talking about their apartment. I was talking about the area that their apartment was in.
Okay.
The complex, next to the complex that they stayed in, are some people that I know very well that don't do quite so good things. So I was speaking to them out of concern. Originally, when they told me where they were moving to, there were some scenes that I went to as a producer that seemed to be much safer and much better. So I was surprised that they were living down there. Now, flash forward, after you see their house, how everything looks, the house is great. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Well, mine can't compare to it at all. So I'll give that. Okay. So that's where I was coming from.
Mikey, when you were riding in the car with Larry, you guys had a very intense conversation about journalism and people putting stuff out there, but you have to be able to accept the other side of media.
Right.
Were you surprised to know that Larry didn't see you as a journalist or didn't think you were one?
Well, I was surprised because honestly, I don't know if Larry remembers this or not, but he was actually. Well, I don't know if Larry remembers this or not, but I first met Larry when I was 20 years old. When I was working at Georgia State University, Signal newspaper, and he was actually the very first person I interviewed. And so I was just starting my journalistic career then. Subsequently, I ended up getting a bachelor's degree from Georgia State. I had worked for the Atlanta Voice. I worked for Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I worked for tons of different publications, different websites. So, I mean, I think basically some of the stuff that I write that might have sensational headlines is what people pay attention to instead of what I've written and done overall. My thing is, if you're going to judge my work, judge me by my whole span of work and not just a few spots here and there.
I didn't say that he wasn't a journalist. What I said was, yes, there's a difference between blogging with sensationalism and journalism where you check your facts. So that's what I said when we're talking about, I think the conversation we were having was more so along, well, you did this, so I'm just saying what you did. So it's like that to me isn't journalism where it's like, oh, your baby daddy is cheating on you. That's not journalism to me. That is gossip.
But Mikey has to stop acting like he has not done gossip column work before.
Oh, I'm not.
Yes, you've done. One thing I can say about Mikey has very credible work. He has great journalist work. I'm not gonna put that past him. But you cannot forget that you have done gossip columns too. Because what you try to put a dig at me because I do gossip shit and I stand by every piece of it.
In episode 1, you said when Brandon came to your office about this show that you guys were trying to have, that you wanted to make sure Brandon follows through.
Correct.
Now, when you said that, was that based off of the reputation you've heard of him, or was that your own personal experiences being in the industry?
It has nothing to do with the industry. So for me, me and Brandon have had our own personal experiences. We have tried to do a few businesses together, but we came to realize that we can't work together. No.
And it had everything to do with my pull-through energy?
Well, no, it kind of like when we tried to do the line. And ultimately, you decided you didn't want to do that.
Right. Because I didn't want to work with you specifically, yeah.
On that. Okay. Right.
And it's nothing against you.
No, I know, I get it. But, you backed out. You didn't want to do it.
Right.
Then we had a situation with Mikey ATL.
Yes.
Involving one of your exes. And so you decided you wanted to back out on that.
I decided to bow out gracefully with that particular situation because the business behind everything was not put together. It wasn't on either entity.
Okay.
And I mean that with nothing but love, but at the end of the day, I just didn't feel like it was...
We had a conversation.
It wasn't a thing for me.
This is what I said. For me, I'm not going to speak for Control Magazine. I don't own Control. I'm going to speak for my entity. And I laid out pretty much what I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
And of course, like you said, you declined. You didn't want to do it. So
respectfully.
And I want to
you backed out.
Because seeing how far Brandon has come now, you know, you selling the undies, you got your own business.
According to some people, I don't got nothing going on.
You do. You do. Do you see the change?
Have I seen growth in Brandon?
Yes, and coming through and showing up.
Yes, for his brand and what he wants to do. I have definitely seen growth in that. But honestly, I feel like Brandon is doing what he needs to do. He needs to be his own boss. He needs to be working for himself. He does not need to be working for somebody else. He needs to be the person that's in control of his own situation.
Absolutely.
Because I know in any situation, he likes to give his input whether he feels like you want it or you don't want it. So I feel like he needs to have his own company and he's doing what he needs to be doing.
All right. He came crashing in on episode 2, fashionably late with his fan, and he shook every table, and he ruffled a whole lot of feathers. Now, some people may say that Carl's messy, but according to him, he just wanted to know.
Because sometimes I may be a little bit much. Brandon doing OnlyFans?
He was more expecting, a little HBO special, but instead he got Breed It Raw.
Child, she busted it open!
Girl, listen!
She busted it open!
I want to see that shit. It has to be a reason, doesn't it?
Oh, okay.
What's that face about?
I just wanted to know, because I want to know before, because I have fans that's asking me about it. I just want to know what's going on.
I work in media, so when I feel something, exactly, but we have very different tactics of how we go with things.
Like, I want to know what's giving you the motivation to say, hey, let me get butt booty naked for people for $9.99 a month.
I mean, I like to seize the moment.
In classic fashion of, me, I have to make an interest, bitch, you didn't invite me.
and I have a problem with it.
Apologize. Let's look. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just trying. I was asking questions. That was it. So you have no issue with the fact that he used to date Mikey and they lived together? That ain't been a problem for you?
I mean,
Unless you didn't know that.
maybe I talk too much. Y'all think I talk too much? I don't know.
Disclaimer: I'm not being messy. I just like tea.
Well, let's start with episode 2 where you first showed up at brunch.
Uh-huh.
Now, besides you not being here for the location, Duluth is a far drive, was it your intention? Was it your intention to ask multiple people about Brandon's only?
First of all, we had to drive all the way to Duluth.
Hold on, let me get my.
We had to drive all the way to Duluth for eggs and bacon. Okay.
You said it.
Let's start there. And I need to let y'all know. Oh, I'm getting there with your badass events. All right, so we had to drive all the way to Duluth. We had to do all the way to Duluth for eggs and bacon when Waffle House was already there. So then as soon as we come there,
I pulled my good girl to the side, Miss Chris, over there like, girl, did you know? Because apparently the girls must be going through something. So I'm just asking.
you know, and of course, you know, typical, like we said, you know, gossip isn't journalism. I don't do journalism, I do gossip. So I asked my bitch, like, bitch, is she not getting paid? Because we about to put that out there.
Like, you know, what about Brandon doing OnlyFans shocked you the most? Because, I mean, it's so common.
Perfectly honest with you.
I didn't give a fuck about her. I don't care. You sure? But the people kept, apparently, the girl has a huge fan base. Shouts out to you, girl. She got a huge fan base. And they were more curious about what she did with her booty cheeks than I was. Because I don't watch them. So at the end of the day, since I was going to this event, I said, you know what? Gosh darn. I'm going to be around the booty spreader. So let me go ask her right now. What's happening? So, I'm not talking to you. So at the end of the day, I asked Chris first because like I said earlier, I know Chris. And if I don't,
Put your hand up.
they're up. They're up. They're up. They're up. They're up. They're definitely up. Girl, she not a fighter, girl. Y'all know damn well she not. Please, if you want, do you want to try her out today? Do you want to try her today? Do you want to try her today? Do you want to try her today? Do you want to figure her out? No. Do you want to figure her out?
No.
Do you? Bitch, do.
No.
Girl, do.
Let's just go outside.
Girl, what the fuck? She not. Trust me, she not gonna fight. Y'all know she not gonna fight. Here, we know that.
Trying to come in the long run, you cannot be fighting. What did I talk to you about?
Girl, guess what? I get your ass to get whooped before they get here.
We just had a moment. Saying things got heated would be an understatement, but you guys good to carry on?
Great.
Okay, Larry.
Yeah, I just want to say something quick. I mean, we are all talented young men, and there's so many dangers out there for us that we shouldn't be a danger to one another.
I agree.
I know we all have different perspectives and we come from different places, but I just ask when we're in the same space if we can just promise to keep each other safe.
That's fair enough.
I can agree with that. Carl, this is hard for me to do, but I apologize for coming at you the way that I did in this particular situation.
Apology accepted, girl. We good.
Though you stood up on me first.
I did. I'm a stander.
Now, the first episode we saw of you, you and Brandon had a very eye-opening conversation about people and sex work. And I think you had one of the more progressive outlooks on it, where you checked your hairstylist who said the word prostitute.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important, like even going places like Amsterdam, what you don't realize is like sex work keeps people safe. Because people who don't feel comfortable sharing or being vulnerable about their sexual activities, if they can go and pay somebody to handle that or do different things, it keeps them from raping and harming other people. I mean, different people have different things going on emotionally and physically. And so, I mean, I feel like people who do the sex work shouldn't be ostracized, period.
You seem very progressive. I didn't know that. That's news to me.
Yeah.
That is definitely news to me. And you seemed rather supportive of Brandon doing OnlyFans. Did you subscribe?
What? That was a question of phony. What?
Did you subscribe?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, and it's not that I bought underwear to support him. So I support. So I try to support everybody. Like I downloaded your music. So like I've tried to support everybody on the cast because I believe in that. Like we all hustling, we all doing stuff. So if I can support, but I just, me personally, I just have a hard time paying for sex. That's just my own personal thing.
You being so supportive of people who do sex work, if you found yourself in the position that Brandon did this year, where he felt that, you know, that was an option he could use to get out of a bad situation financially, would you do it?
I mean, yeah, if that's what first of all, anything that you choose to do is your choice. So I don't judge people on their choices because it's their life. If I needed to, that's what I would do. I would do what I have to do to survive, period.
Absolutely. That's real. Do you think that this friends group that you're in, would they be supportive of that, or would you get the same treatment Brandon got?
Well, this must take a turn.
You don't support it. You didn't support me. And my decision. It was free on Twitter, so I want to say.
Let's
but you definitely did
be
privately, because you just
very clear. I could do it. Anytime I get ready. Why? It's easy to do. Well, I can rip these panties off anytime and give a bunch of pop pussy right in your face. But at the end of the day, let's get he said his piece. I'm gonna say mine. So at the end of the day, you decided to. I didn't lose my job at Delta. I retired. And I got a severance package. You retired? $20K. So I left. I didn't furlough. $20K to go. I had a choice. And yes, could I have took my $20K, paid my bills, and popped my pussy in front of my ring light? I could have. But I decided to do things a more, respectful way.
So why
respectfully?
So why? Okay, I gotta wrap it up, guys. I gotta wrap it up. Larry, being that you are a singer, what do you think of Bunny B?
I think it's hot. I mean, I went and saw him perform. Supported him performing. We went and I was there that night where he performed. So I think I would work with him. Like
Hell yeah, you top 10. You did right. We could work together. Shit.
There you go. All right.
I just feel like this. I feel like Carl should have did something other than bunny pussy. I mean, ain't no bunny.
It's a whole EP.
But you said it was a toe tapper.
It was a toe tapper, toes. I mean, at the end of the day, a toe tapper and a club banger are two totally different things.
Well, toe tap that shit on your OnlyFans, bitch. I can use the $5.99 my damn self. My next track is called Brandon Karson, Trash Pussy.
Yeah. Okay.
Bring the beat back. Bounce that ass, drop it low, let me see your shade. Bounce that ass, pop it down, let me see your shade. Bounce that ass, bend it over, let me see your shade. Got a few dollars, little bitch, I'll make it quake. Bounce that ass, drop it low, let me see your shade. Bounce that ass, pop it down, let me see your shade. Bounce that ass, bend it over, let me see your shade. Got a few dollars, little bitch, I'll make it quake. Double C's on the bag, yo, I'm pricey. Yeah, you really wanna know how to ice me. Tell your nigga that he really wanna wipe me. Ass gripping so you know it's really nicey. He a dick, keep a nigga in check. He got a thick nigga so you know it's getting wet. He wanna get up on the back, I'ma let him know. I'm on my city boy, yeah, you better have some dough. Yeah, I'm all of that. Pump day tap, if you really wanna know, yeah, you wanna hit that. Yeah, you mad little nigga, cause I'm slim fat. And your nigga wanna hit that, that's a big fat. Bounce that ass, drop it low, let me see your shade. Bounce that ass, pop it down, let me see your shade. Bounce that ass, bend it over, let me see your shade. Got a few dollars, little bitch, I'll make it quake. Bounce that ass, drop it low, let me see your shade. Bounce that ass, pop it down, let me see your shade. Bounce that ass, bend it over, let me see your shade. Got a few dollars, little bitch, I'll make it quake. Loves when it class back, number 2 off, flat thighs, wings, legs back, calling me his little snack. You wanna tap, yeah, that. I'm a real freak, and you know he want it like that. I need a bust down, yeah, you know, flood it out. I need an ice bath, yeah, this wrist heavy now. When the storm on my neck, certified blue check, only blue face is really.
As you guys can see, we are joined by our friends of the show, Mr. Tramel.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
I'm awesome. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to be here. You look very cute in this.
Oh, thank you. It's mint.
Mr. Maurice.
Hello.
How are
I'm
you?
glad to be here as well. I'm doing very well.
Okay, good. You look very cute.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Jeremy.
How are you?
I like this.
Oh, you like
That's your whole
Oh,
life.
thank you.
Jeremy, now when we met you on the show, it was at one of the most interesting events of the season, which was Brandon's silk pajama party. Very
It was
cute.
delicious.
It was very cute. What was your first impression of the group when you saw them together at the party?
Everybody was nice, and they were inviting. Like, I think you weren't there.
I was
first
invited,
when I got
so.
there, but Mikey and Brandon, everybody was inviting. Like, it was nice. The food was good. I think it was like a psychic there.
Yeah.
And we met your boyfriend there too.
Yes, you did.
So
We did. We actually did.
Will Shad be joining us tonight? I don't see a chair. Oh, I'm just there.
Stay where you at.
Okay.
Mind your business and stay in your lane. What else is going on?
Of course he's not coming tonight.
All right. And Carl, that is the perfect segue
Started.
to introduce your friend, Mr. Tramel. Now, obviously, Brandon was doing OnlyFans, and he was approached about the show. I want to get into something because in episode, well, I won't even say which episode. I do know there was a deleted scene.
Yes.
There was a deleted scene that was uploaded where you said that you felt exploited in your friendship from Mikey. Do you feel like he was exploiting you in a good way to show, how life is for people doing OnlyFans, or did you feel like that was just him using you to get what he wanted?
I felt like in the moment and at that time he was utilizing me for my name and for my likingness. More so because it was kind of more so of his transition into trying to accept people who got into OnlyFans. It was lazy work, like it was kind of like a quick situation, so on and so forth. But when I introduced him to me being a part of it, and now he knows the backing behind everything. To anybody who's out there doing like hard up, fucking, by all means, I think that it's absolutely amazing because all of us has gotten off. I just won't go that far.
Just to get a little touch on more of that, you said in that deleted scene that there were conversations that Mikey thought you didn't hear, or that you weren't privy to that spoke in a disparaging manner about you doing that. That was disparaging, but I'm not understanding what's the difference between him having those conversations and Carl just outright asking you, are you doing OnlyFans?
I got you. Here's the difference. And I'm going to tell you what the difference is, right? Mikey, we live the ED because we don't live with each other anymore. Okay. It's a shock for everybody. I'm pretty sure that's the great sort of...
Go
ahead, girl.
Go get your mom.
Girl, continue to cover your rent in Riverdale. At the end of the day,
All right.
I decided to, I decided that this would be the best situation to kind of have us, kind of separate. Okay. And I felt like with me living with Mikey and everything, I felt like, to save our friendship, I needed to move out. Okay. So, with that being the case and with that being the situation, we kind of ran into a whole lot of friction, both business and personally. And the thing is, with Mikey talking about, earlier you spoke about the business situation.
Correct.
And we also spoke about a couple of personal qualms on the show. And the thing about it is a lot of people kind of ran with this whole idea that me and Mikey were dating, me and Mikey had a sexual interaction, me and Mikey had this whole thing. And I'm sure we're going to tap into that.
I get that, because we're getting kind of off track. Well, I'm going to ask the question again, because I do feel like we got off track.
I just want to get my point across.
I did.
I
did.
I just want to make a blanket statement before actually, because I answered your question initially.
Not really.
I didn't?
No.
Thanks for being combative, but...
I'm not. I'm just letting you know, as the host, I know what I asked you to answer.
I'll make it short and sweet.
Please.
Mikey came to me on some friend shit. He came to me on some, what is going on? What's happening here? What is this? Although I heard personal conversations about it, I checked him right then and there. Carl decided to do it while cameras were rolling. And what he did is that he took this bait that everybody is talking about production has been given so many people to come against me. And the thing is, I guess that just makes sense because I have the biggest name on the cast. We're not going to argue that.
We're all friends here.
I think I said that once.
So let me clarify this. It's just like most people, in my age range, I would be 37 next month. I was raised to believe that stuff like OnlyFans and pornography was dead ass wrong, was a form of prostitution. You was going to hell.
Oh, it still is.
And so for me, let me finish. I'm gonna let you have Carl. Let me have my moment.
That has not changed.
Let me have my moment.
The years have
Let me have my moment. Go ahead. However, I know my friend.
To not just me, but so many others.
I know my friend was the one that took his acting very seriously. He wants to be a superstar and stuff, and I thought that would be something that could stop him from doing that. So I was going to discourage anything that he was doing, that I thought he was doing to hurt himself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So I want to get into this pajama party. You know, I have to start with you, Brandon, because this was your event. It was your event.
With the most.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you did a good event.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Mikey thought he was the best dressed. You showed up uninvited. And Larry, he was just there.
Larry came with all his friends.
Right.
It was great.
It was good. You introduced your boyfriend, Sean.
Yeah.
Where do things stand between y'all now? As he's not here.
We aren't together anymore. With this show, along with some other things, kind of tampered with our connection. And I will say this: I don't like to go back and address things that are in the past. But what I will say is, when you spoke about things that we regret, that's the one thing I regret bringing Sean on the show, because no one else brought their spouse on the show except for Fresh and Lacey, because they were, conjoined.
For some of you here in this circle, those questions in regards to Brandon and Sean's relationship will be coming to y'all as well.
I don't need them to answer anything about me and my relationship with Sean. They don't know anything about my relationship. So
I understand
I would prefer that the questions be, forwarded
and I
to me.
understand that, but I have to do my job. Mm-hmm. All right, Mikey. It was brought up by Carl that there was something going on between you two at one point in time. Now, I know you guys vehemently denied that, but Sean even went on to say that he felt that some of the friction that was going on in the relationship was actually not from what Carl said, but it was actually from you. He felt like you were shady towards him. He felt like maybe Carl's revelation validated why he felt you didn't like him, or maybe even why you didn't want them to be together.
Well, first off, let me start off by saying that I'm sorry this situation played a role in the demise of your relationship. That is not something I ever want.
Because I'm trying my very best not to walk off right now.
Let me just say that. So that's the first thing.
Because everybody picked and played and pried with everything that I had going on in my life at the time. Everything. Not just my relationship, but everything. And the thing about it is I had a vulnerability. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
It was positive. I thought it was thoughtful to have an event to introduce him to people instead of just bringing him around. Like some people, you just bring him around. So to have an event to kind of introduce him, it was kind of thoughtful, I thought.
As things were moving along at the pajama party in a positive direction, we got a big bang at the door, and that was Mr. Carl.
When Mikey first initially invited me, we were at the radio station. Another job that I have.
Congratulations. What else is going on?
One of many. But anyway,
cool.
I had first had told him then, I had intentions because I felt like at the brunch, it was a little bit different. Like, I came there, because everybody kept saying, oh, Carl went to everybody else and he didn't go to Brandon.
He did.
Brandon was filming the scene outside.
Come
so I didn't
on.
want to just crash they scene hey, what's up, bitch? You got OnlyFans?
Yeah, because that's my friend. Whether he's here or there, whether he's here or there, that's my friend. And this is the same way with you. I'll be the same way.
You know, I'm the real ass bitch.
Bro, you got my number,
it didn't
bitch.
make sense.
Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, that's true enough, but at the end of the
you
day,
You reached out to me when you saw it verbatim yourself, because the thing about it is to sit here and talk about how people sent you stuff, I know exactly how you got that information. We're not going to sit here and expel that situation, but the thing is, somebody signed up to do an OnlyFans situation to be someone to buy into other accounts. They gave you said information and sent you that stuff. That's how you got information behind my Instagram. I mean, behind my OnlyFans situation.
I am not privy to that information.
I know it.
But,
of course you're not. Of course you're not privy to that situation.
It landed on my desk.
Of course you're not privy to that situation.
Either way, it landed on my desk.
I get that. But
everybody protecting everybody on this show.
Hold on. But I gotta get y'all on. We'll get there. I promise you.
It's low. It was low.
Hold on. Let me stop you right now. Because what we're not gonna do is keep. This is what we're doing.
Y'all are allowing to let Brandon talk every single time. Soon as somebody else say something, y'all want to move on. We not moving on. We finna talk about it right here, right now.
Not just
so, you had your speak. It's my turn. So at the end of the day, we had the brunch, okay? And I felt that the brunch was not the proper place to bring it up. And why I did not come to Brandon shut up. At the end of the day, I brought it up. I didn't bring it up to Brandon because Brandon was, let's go be honest, he was filming a scene outside. We were filming. So we're not going to sit out there and just say, hey girl, how's your hair? Like, bitch, we got to talk about something. But if you don't say, Ain't no stop. Go ahead. Ain't no stop. Because bitch, she didn't talk all night. So at the end of the day, we damn sure gonna have my moment. This bitch been talking all week. So guess what? It's my turn. So at the end of the day, she had her chance to talk. She set her ass out there. She was filming a scene. We set her ass in there. There's cameras in our face. What the fuck else am I supposed to talk to these bitches about? Because at the end of the day, she put her OnlyFans out there. The reason why, oh Carl, you didn't film anything. Oh Carl, you didn't have anything to do. Carl don't have nothing to do because the only thing you saw from Carl is you see Carl on a radio show. You saw Carl do a corporate mouth. You saw Carl do a performance. Carl puts out there what he needs to put out there. You spread your booty cheeks from left to right. You put your man on the motherfucking show. So at the end of the day, if we want to talk about the shit that you made public, bitch, I will talk about what the fuck I want to talk about. Period. So if you didn't want nobody to talk about it, you should have brought him out there. Oh my God, I wish I would have never brought my man up there. Bitch, you made that decision, not I. So at the end of the day, you brought him out there, so guess what we gonna talk about? You and your man. You spread your booty cheek from this side of the screen to this side of the screen. Guess what we gonna talk about? That booty cheek. So at the end of the day, if you didn't want to talk about it, you should have made it public. Well, Carl, we'll talk about your relationship. Why? Because Carl ain't make it public. So that's why you ain't talking about it. You ain't gonna talk about what Carl made public. Okay. Carl makes his work public. So that's what you gonna talk about. If I want to be a messy bitch, we have the corporate mouth. That's what we talk about is mess. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's what we want to talk about. And I ain't done. At the end of the day, I've been had her shit on my motherfucking desk. It wasn't interesting to me, so that's what we talk about. When they told me, you know what we gonna do? We ain't gonna play the spade no more. They asked me to come shake her motherfucking table, and that's what the fuck I did. So her table got shook. At the end of the day, we talked about it. I didn't really give two shits about what she do with her ass or her OnlyFans at the end of the goddamn day.
Give me 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds, and I gotta move on. I got to move on.
I am a little puzzled as to why you were so amped up just now about a situation that had honestly nothing to do with you.
Honestly, the reason why I'm so amped up. No, I'm not. Because he just spoke the entire reunion. So if you gonna, what y'all need to do is either advise the questions elsewhere, or I'm gonna keep fucking interrupting. So that's what's gonna happen. Cause y'all done asked this bitch questions the entire time we all been sitting here. So who else y'all gonna ask questions to? Y'all keep asking it to Brandon, or y'all ask it to the rest of the fucking cast that was there as well? Cause y'all keep asking him the questions as if he the only bitch that was on the goddamn show. No, ain't no Carl.
Well, here's my thing. Wait. Give me you weren't even a part of it.
Girl, I'm trying to. Exactly my point. He's trying to help you. But here you go again. So why don't you just sit back and let somebody else do it? Sit back and let somebody else do it.
So now you're attacking.
You're attacking? Who's attacking? You so attacked?
I guess because you're doing this, if he gonna sit here and scream at me this whole time.
Well, girl, go! Shit! Nobody asked you to sit here.
Let's move on.
You can move.
I gotta move on. Let's move on.
Move on. There you go. Girl, we not about to do this. Y'all done directed every fucking question to her the entire time we've been sitting here. She is not the only bitch sitting over here. So at the end of the day, you can't ask her questions about me and you asking her about me. If I have something to say about it, ask me. Don't ask her. Y'all wanna ask her because y'all trying to keep that bitch happy. At the end of the day, bitch, I'll turn this bitch upside down too. I don't stop 1 from 10 this bitch down. So please don't try that. No, curl my ass.
Come on, Carl.
Like we all three of us ain't sitting here. Y'all asked all her the questions 20 times. How many times we gonna have part 1 and 2 about her? The fuck? We all sitting here? We already had the damn show like Brandon and Friends already. The reunion ain't about to be her too. You ain't met me, you just met me today. You already know the only fighter in this bitch is me. So if I wanted to pop her ass, I would have done that already.
Hello, my name is Antar Bush, and I am the executive producer of WebLYFE Atlanta. Now, we had some hiccups, and I am here to allow Carl now express some of their discomforts or have a deeper understanding on what's going on behind the scenes. And we want to definitely apologize to anybody who feels like they were being taken advantage of or not heard. And I want to extend my apologies to Carl.
You forgot my name?
You know, I don't talk on camera often, so
Right.
I want to extend my apologies to you if you feel like something happened along the production process that did not support your narrative.
Okay, here's my thing.
But
it's reality. I know how it goes. You say your part, and sometimes it can be edited, and it makes it seem a certain way that it didn't go. And I know how it goes. Like they said, I've been on 80 shows, so at the end of the day, I know how this goes. So at the end of the day, my issue here with Brandon today was just the fact that, like I said, everything. Not at the end of the day, Rashad asked him some great questions. At the end of the day, you don't have to direct all that towards me because eventually, like I said, we know how this goes. It will eventually get to me. But you don't have to, like me. We gonna call spade a spade. I'm from the hood. At the end of the day, you can address me so many damn times, and that's it. Like I've been nice. I've had my cup, and I've been sitting here, not saying anything for a long time. I can't keep doing that, and I've been trying to. But we're not gonna sit here. I felt like I watched the season. And as I watch the season, I'm seeing the green screens. I'm seeing people saying all this extra stuff. And I said, you know what, I'm going to let it slide. And right now, we will get to me. But we've been filming for a while, and it ain't got to me yet. And I'm looking like this. She keep throwing, like, which I could have waited through. But she just kept making comments. I'm like, we're not going to keep acting like it's just Carl doing 50 million different things. Because it's not that.
And as always, thank you for the outpour of love and support.
Period.
I'm wishing that we had never met. I've been crying